Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm doing the return largest numbers in arrays on freeCodeCamp, and we have an array here, largest of 4, and that's an array that actually contains 4 arrays inside of it, each with 4 numbers. And what they want us to do is return the largest number from each of the arrays in a new array. So this one would be 5, 27, 39, and 1001, and that's what we should be returning, like so, as an example here. So we have to return an array consisting of the largest number from each of the provided subarrays. And just for simplicity, we'll always get 4 subarrays. But with the method that I'll show you here with 2 for loops, it doesn't really matter how many arrays there are. This sort of scales up or down respectively. But yeah, maybe there are better solutions, but anyway, stick around to see how I coded this one out. So I'm just going to remove the starter code here. For some reason my laptop keyboard's not working. I'll just reset that. Okay, so let's see. So as I said, we'll have 2 for loops. So let's just start those off. So we'll let I equals 0 whilst I is less than array.length. So that is the array that we're passing in. So this whole one here, which will be 4 because it's 4 arrays inside of it. We'll do I++. Okay. And just to show you that, I'll console.log out array at position I, and we'll get those 4 individual arrays here. So I think it's logging all of the examples, but anyway, here's the array split out each time. So after that, as I said, we'll then do another for loop. So we'll let j equals 0 whilst j is less than array.length, j++, and this sort of I and j is sort of just I guess sort of standard, just that obviously I you're setting here, you don't want to sort of set it again. And it just makes it easier to handle all of these. But essentially now, because we're in the for loop, what we can do, we've got 2 variables here, so we can console.log, we can do array at position I, and then after that j as well. So I is the array itself inside, so each one of these 4, and then j was actually looping through that array. So j at position 0 would be 13 if I is 1, because it's 0 indexed, right? And then it would be 1, 2, 3, and then as I then goes to 2 in this example, as I'm going through it, it would be over here, and we'd loop through all of those items or the j's within that array. So if I log that out, we'll be able to see individual values now being outputted to the console, as we can see here. So you can see we're going 4, 5, 1, 3, and then we go to the next array, 13, 27, 18, 26. But what we actually want is to get the largest number in this array. We're not sort of doing a comparison of all the values, it's only the ones in their respective arrays. So what we want to do just between the 2 for loops is let largest num, and we need to let that equal something. And you can set it to 0, but I know that doesn't pass for some of the tests as sort of the initial value. So what we'll actually do is set it to array at position I and then at position 0. So essentially that will be the first value of each of these subarrays, right? So that's our starting point. Sort of that will become clear why we do that in a second. And then down here we want to then basically update largest num. So we'll do an if statement. So basically if array at position I and then j, right, is greater than largest num, we then want to let largest num equal array at position I and then j. So we're updating largest num at this point. And then effectively what we actually now want is we're getting the largest nums for each of the arrays, but we need to push those to a new array. So we're going to come to the very top of our function here, and we'll do it let large array equal an empty array just to begin with, And then down here, so out or in the sort of the first for loop, but out of the second. So that would be here. We want to do large array dot push, and we want to push that largest num. So effectively, once the second for loop finishes, we want to then push that result of largest num to the large array, and then all we do is return large array, which will no longer be empty. It will, once it's run through all of this, it will update. So with 5, with 27 here, with 39 and 1001. So if I hit enter, there we go. We can see we passed the solution. And just to run through it again, if it's sort of fully clear, we're setting an array, sort of empty array that we're returning, because we need to basically return an array consisting of the largest number from each subarray. So that's where we're setting it. We're then creating a for loop to go through each of these subarrays, so 0, 1, 2, and 3. And then within there we're setting the largest num. So we're setting it off as the array index, obviously just so that it moves through, but we're setting it to the 0th value, so the first one for each of these. And then we're looping through, and we're saying if 4 is, I guess, yeah, we could almost do sort of j plus 1 for this, I believe, but we're saying if 4 is greater than 4, then largest num is 4. If 5 is greater than 4, largest num is 5, which it is. So largest num is reassigned, and then if 1 is greater than 5, it isn't, and then if 3 is greater than 5, it isn't. So largest num is still 5. We've come out of this for loop because we've gone through all of the numbers, all the items in the array, and then we're just pushing that 5 to the large array, and then going through to the next one here, so within that larger for loop, or the outside one over here. So yeah, that's my solution to this. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you sort of have a better solution, or any sort of refactorings that you might find even within this code. I'm sure there's sort of many ways to do this, but here's just one example that I came up with. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.